Hi, welcome back to I Confess with Travis. I'm your host, Travis Bartlett. And today, I'm going to be telling you guys a story about how I got rejected from McDonald's when I left my job working for Gilmer. Now, I know I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I told you the real reason why I left. Well, let's just say the next day, I was told to go straight to McDonald's for orientation for only 1 hour. And let's just say I was mad as hell because 2 weeks ago, right after I told you guys I left, I was told to go into orientation Monday morning, and they were trying to send me a link for a onboarding, for me to fill out more information and stuff. And I never really got a link. I mean, I would get an email saying, like, go ahead and click on a link so we can continue with this onboarding thing or whatever. And I still never got a link. Basically, it was just showing, like, random codes. And I don't think that was considered a website link to whatever. I was there for 1 hour. And they said that they were going to call me back the next day. They never did. Then I literally was sitting on my bed waiting for these people to call me back. They never did. So I was literally trying to get a hold of them for 3 hours, and they were not answering their phones. And I felt like maybe they were blocking me. Maybe they didn't want to talk to me or anything. And that was just my thinking. So for the third day, I still didn't get any calls. I contacted corporate. They kept sending me other corporate numbers to get a hold of other corporate places. They were saying, well, we can't do anything about it, but I can give you this phone number. So I was like, okay. I got the phone number. I called up the second McDonald's corporate office, and they told me that there's nothing they can do about that either. They said this is only for customer service lines only. Then they send me another corporate number to contact another corporate office that was from McDonald's as well. And let's just say when I contacted that corporate office, they said, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Like I said from the other two, they said there's nothing they can do about it. Well, they said if you want to get hired, you would have to contact the store, restaurant, or whatever to talk to the manager over there. I told them, I said, I've been calling and calling and calling for 3 hours, and they have not answered their phones. I said, I've had 2 other corporate offices give me 2 different numbers leading to you. I mean, and you're over here telling me that there's nothing that y'all can do. And I just literally hung up on them. I mean, when I tell you how mad I was, I literally felt like I was only hired for 1 hour in orientation. I'm dressed in like these nice sticky pants with a black shirt because, well, that's basically what they told me to come in. But I will tell you this, like in the beginning when I got hired, the person that hired me saying that I came in, like with a smile on my face, that I represented myself. I told them I was a very hard worker. I love to work. I mean, I gave them a lot of positive reviews about me. I mean, everything that basically makes it seem like I'm a work trustworthy person where I can work with customers, work with other, places and stuff. Anyway, that's what I did for my interview when I first got hired there. And then the whole story about me saying that I was trying to get a hold of them, get a hold of corporate. All I can say is McDonald's was just not very professional, is what I should say. Because to me, for what I'm actually hearing, it's just laziness and excuses and slacking people. And I don't care if these people actually hear me say this, but I'm just saying, don't quit your job when you were told to be at another job that morning and you're being told that you didn't get the job when they didn't call or tell you or anything. And then when I finally got a hold of somebody, they want to make up an excuse saying, well, we couldn't find anything for you to do. We're still looking for what we can do to hire you and stuff. To me, that just sounds like a load of bull. A fucking excuse. A fucking lie. Because you're telling me that you're trying to find me something to do, but I've been out of a job for 2 weeks because of McDonald's. And then you want to go around talking about, oh, well, you can't find me anything to do. That's just an excuse. And now, 2 weeks later, I am still out of a job. So, if anybody that's actually listening to this podcast, please help me out. Because I'm desperately looking for a job. And I really need a job like now. I mean, I don't care if I'm either scrubbing toilets or if I'm actually, let's say, working the register or playing a manager or whatever. A lot of people are getting to the point where they just don't want to hire anymore. I mean, you're basically representing yourself and stuff. And I know you guys are going to be thinking you should go get a job coach and stuff like that. Well, let me tell you this. When I went to this temp service, it was the Goodwill temp service. I know I told you about the Goodwill temp service story about how they didn't want to give me any proof of income so I can get an apartment. Well, I stopped using them, and it wasn't because of that. But I do remember I actually had a job coach for like maybe a couple weeks or a month. And then I get a message saying that the job coach is no longer working with the company. And they said they were going to find a replacement. And when I was working at Goodwill as a temp service, like I told you stories about, right now I'm still struggling on trying to find a job. And I don't want to just like find a random job coach just to help me find a job, because that's what job coaches are for. They're supposed to help you find an actual job. But don't go to a temp service job to get an actual job coach where you're only going to be working like 10 or 12 hours a day, and that's not going to give you any place to stay. So all I can say is if you ever do get a job, then, just be happy. I understand a lot of people nowadays don't really like jobs, but that's just what we have to go through. I know I've told you stories about how I was gotten hired and quit and got fired from like all these 10 jobs. And I know for a fact, it's hard nowadays. I used to find a job like it was the next day. Now it's like if I actually do want a job, it's like you have to constantly bug these people. Well, I don't know what else to do. And I don't know what else to say. I'm even more broke. I have no money. I don't even have a savings account in my bank account anymore. I wished I never left my job working at Gilmer, but it's too late now. But all I can actually say is just be mindful. And just keep the job, even though you can get frustrated and irritated all the time. But all I can say is just keep your job. Even if you don't like it, just keep your fucking job. Okay? Because right now I'm struggling on looking for a job. I know there's a lot of people out there that are actually looking for jobs. So all I can actually tell you is just stay positive. And I know there's lots of jobs everywhere, but just stay positive, and that's all I can actually say. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and I'm going to talk to you guys about my web series that you actually watched and tell me what you actually think about it. All right, I'll be right back. Welcome back. And today I thought maybe I can talk about my web series called Travis's Birthday. And I think that this is going to be a really interesting topic to talk about. But before I get started on telling the story about it, what did you guys think about watching the entire 1 week of Travis's Birthday web series? What did you guys actually think about it? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it terrible? Was it excellent? I mean, I really want to know. With this web series, this was like the best birthday I ever have done. Even though that this was actually made last year, and I know what you guys are actually thinking. You guys are probably thinking like, why didn't you upload it that day instead of uploading it for this year, even though it's been made a year ago? That's actually a really, really good question. You see, I didn't really have enough time. All I did was actually record it, edit it, and I ran out of time. So I thought maybe I can upload my birthday when I turned 33 last year, even though I turned 34 last week. And I thought maybe I can go ahead and share the experience with you guys. Because when you're working on, like, let's say movies, shows, series, or whatever, it can take time to actually get things done, and you may or may not even see it. That's why people have to be patient when they come out with, let's say, a movie or a TV show. The web series was really good. I mean, I got to go on vacation. I got to go bowling. Gone out to dinner for my birthday. I even did online shopping. I mean, there's a lot more that I actually did. I only made 7 webisodes and 3 bonus clip videos. So when you actually watch the series, don't get it confused like, why is this guy doing a birthday and he's only 33, but he's saying he's actually 34? Don't get it confused, okay? I'm actually 34 years old. I had to do all the work. And besides, I didn't do all the episodes all in 1 week. And when it comes to birthdays, don't get all excited because you're expecting like a gift, because right now you're technically an adult. And when you're an adult, you may not even get $1 for your birthday. You may not even get $1 for Christmas. And then there's some people out there that will be a bitch about it, that will start saying things like, well, it's my motherfucking birthday. I can do and say whatever I want. And then they want to be very demanding about it. Well, like I said, I did a lot of work working on this web series for you guys, so you guys can actually watch and see what I did for my 33rd birthday. It takes time to make a show. It takes time to make a movie. A lot of people always say that they're always so impatient because they want to see it, but then they have to wait because it won't get aired until a certain amount of days or time. But what I'm going to tell you is, when you're a kid, you can get like 1,000,000 gifts. When you become a teenager, you're going to start getting less gifts. Like you might get maybe a few gifts. But when you become an adult, like I just said, you may or may not even get $1. Sometimes you can just be happy with what you got. Like with me, I don't even care if I got a gift or not. I would be okay if someone just said the word happy birthday to me. I mean, I'd be okay with that. I would be okay if someone was to take me to the movies, or let's say took me to the zoo, or even bought me socks and boxers for my birthday. I mean, a gift is a gift. I know that last part sounded really weird, but I'm just saying a gift is a gift. You just take it and accept it. Don't be demanding what you want. You have to accept in life, when you're an adult, you have to accept things. So don't be like that person who's going to be demanding all because you want what you want. Because what you're doing is you're just being more of a bitch than being an actual adult about it. And I did do a review on the 7th episode because, well, for one, I didn't exactly wanted to do anything for the 7th episode. So what I did was I wrote a review about my birthday web series experience, talked about when it comes to having birthdays, and stuff like that. But all I can actually say is be mindful and be happy. I just want to say I'm sorry that I didn't get to make a call. I know I feel like I've been telling more stories than I've been, letting other people tell their stories. But that's the whole point of this podcast is, like I said in the beginning of the intro, that sometimes I will confess stories, but the rest of the time it's just you guys telling stories about everything. And that's what my podcast was about. You guys telling stories. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close the show. If you guys actually want to be on the podcast, please text 478-901-4445. That's 478-901-4445. And I will talk to you guys next week.